I wonder if someone had told Kim that the ride twirled you around from the Kanye East to the Kanye West, if maybe she'd be too annoyed to cut the line and ride. Fitting they picked this ride, because I think there's quite a bit of tea to be spilled on just how entitled their behavior is. Hey Girl Scout, what's shakin'? How have you been? I personally have been going out and enjoying the rare UK weather, and while out, I've began listening to all the NPC interactions that happen around me every single day. And wow, do some of them give me Truman Show existential dread, because they sound like the most generic things I've ever heard. But guess what? They probably say the same thing about me in my endless conversations about my cat with Doug, because we are only the main characters of our own lives. Seems like a simple concept, but seeing as there's a whole subreddit dedicated to people who think they're central to everyone's lives, this doesn't seem to be the case with everyone. You guys have been enjoying these main character syndrome videos I've posted in the past, so today, we're gonna go and marvel at the ones who took their participation trophies as Oscars and see how they try and take the main stage of everyone's lives. Let's just jump right into it. Aw man, he cut off the TikTok right before the part where they all start cheering and begging the cast to let him join because he's so good. He cut it off so it looks like he tried getting attention to prove a point and it just ended up completely and utterly failing. God, I hate camera tricks like that. But seriously, what was that? Did he really think that doing a backflip was going to do something? Like the cast has any say in who gets hired out of the crowd of random people in various forms of cargo shorts and movie-themed backpacks?
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Does he think the hiring team are lurking in the bushes, waiting for the right guy to come along and scouring TikTok for the one who got away? Dude, even the kids looked at you with confusion while slightly cringing. If someone who can't even tie shoes and gets chocolate ice cream mustache after eating is looking at you and thinking you're a hot mess, you're definitely a hot mess. Take the L, try again somewhere else that sees your talents that you believe you have, and stop trying to take the experience of the performance away from the little kids who are there to see their favorite characters do cool shit and not you. If they wanted to see random guys doing flips, they'd probably go to any major city where all the weird touristy people in costumes hang out. And, for the record, the streets of New York are always hiring for random guys who beg for money while flipping around. So yeah, good luck out there, Chief.
Britney Spears just announced that she's pregnant with her third child. Congratulations, Marcel! Oh my god! She's literally my idol. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how much she's changed my life. I love her so much. I've tried to emulate her in every way and everything. I think she does everything is perfect. I love her so much. And that means we're pregnant at the same time. Oh my god, we got engaged at the same time to Middle Eastern men. And now we're pregnant at the same time. I always wanted a pregnancy twin, and it's Britney Spears. Sam posted this, and he's just as excited as her, and we love to see it. This is the happy ending. We've been rooting for Britney. And y'all can tell me if I'm really reaching, but don't Moses and I kind of look like an alternate parallel reality universe of Sam and Britney? A little bit, right? Sam and Britney, me and Moses. Even our houses are kind of similar. Britney's house near the door. My house near the door.
All I can say to this is leave Britney alone. Oh yes, Trish, you got her. She finally noticed you emulating her, and instead of being weirded out or brushing you off as just another superfan, she decided, you know what? I'm going to get myself knocked up at the same time as her because she's already copied me so much, and I think it's time to give back to the fans a little bit.
They're the same picture.
Nothing screams similar like comparing the race of your husbands and the front door pictures you both posted online. Twinsies. And for those who might argue she's excited for Britney, notice how she talks about her in relation to herself. We're pregnant at the same time. We look the same. I have always wanted a pregnancy twin. I have pics like her. Me, me, me. Did I forget to mention she also hopped onto the fake DID trend and claimed to be trans when it seemed to be cool to do that online? And that she constantly posts things online to hurt others because it gets her attention? Add on the whole wants to raise her kid genderless while having a huge gender reveal party where she gets to dress up and get all the attention on her yet again, and we have the epitome of a main character. Every move in her life is to push her further into the spotlight, even if that means hurting others, refusing to help herself, and even going as far as bringing a child into the mess. God, I miss her cute Target hauls from 2016, and I hate that this is what it's become. I would love for TikTok to stop pushing shitty content and not reward people for controversy when it clearly is turning people off to the idea of helping themselves because they won't be as clickable.
Whoa!
Fitting that the guy was dressed as a dinosaur, because I think these guys all raw XD when they look back on these cringe videos they make. Too bad they spilled all that milk. The calcium would have protected them from harm. Oh well, no use crying about it, right?
You may be an open book, SpongeBob, but I'm a bit more complicated than that. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Now, maybe I'm just too detached from TikTok to understand the appeal, but I really didn't find this entertaining. I remember being a grocery store employee and to have to be subject to cleaning up this unnecessary mess to make money while they just get to leave and go to the next place to make all this chaos again pisses me off. Like it or not, add all the Karens out there who might disagree, but a grocery store employee's job should be to clean up accidents or spills or messes that naturally occur from a grocery store and not be degraded to someone's maid when they decide to pour milk all over the ground without consequence. It takes a really entitled person who doesn't consider how their actions affect the world around them to make someone's job more difficult without remorse. And no, doing it in costume doesn't make it better. It makes you look even more cringe.
Something that I simply just did not understand is how, as a society, we have agreed to just let airlines get away with scamming people. So I'm at the airport checking in for my flight, as per usual, and I put my bag on the scale before checking in. She goes, "Ooh, sorry, babe, it's 51 pounds, it's gonna be $100. I said, "You can't just let it slide, please?" She goes, "No, sorry, it's overweight, you're gonna have to pay $100 or take something out." I said, "Absolutely fucking not am I paying $100 for this." So I unzipped my bag, I removed one pair of socks, one sole pair of socks, and a straightening iron. Zip it back up, put it back on the scale, magically 49 pounds. I need my scale at home to lie to me like that because that is some bullshit. I could understand if it was like a gravity thing and they're like, "Oh, the bags are too heavy, so the plane is literally going to fall out of the sky." Like, obviously we don't want that to happen, but how could it be a gravity thing if the bags are still going on the plane? They're just below the plane as opposed to in the overhead compartment. It's still equally as heavy. It's not going to tip over. Like, what the fuck?
Poor James, having to remove a few items from his suitcase like the rest of us because it's an airline requirement and being upset that the world doesn't bend to his will? How awful his day must have been to take 30 seconds to put something in his carry-on. Of course, this injustice is about him and making his life hard and isn't at all about regulations for the safety of the bag handlers. That can easily be confirmed from a quick Google search, but obviously slandering a company to your millions of whiny followers is a practical alternative, since acknowledging those beneath him isn't exactly in James's repertoire. Speaking of Googling, I found out that a mini hair straightener comes in at about 1 pound, so a full-size one could plausibly weigh in at 2 pounds. The socks could have stayed, and are a stupid decoy in your argument. But I get it, James. Making you do basic math is really hard. I don't know what James did, but I guarantee he was a Karen about it when they mentioned it, and that's why they didn't let it slide. Because anytime something is less than like 2 pounds over, they usually don't say anything. I'm not usually one to praise main characters, but that guy in the background is genuinely such a hero in this devastating tale. Maybe I was too quick to judge those who try and take over others' spotlights. In cases like James or the Kardashians, I could see this as a great strategy to take them down to reality again. You guys know that NPCs walk in a set path and you just block them from doing that, right? You might have just glitched the whole game for all we know. But of course, you don't care because you just have to reset and try again. Problem solved. It's not like other people have things to actually do or places to be, and they're just set pieces placed to make your life feel more real. Is that how these people think? Or do they think it's funny? Genuinely, someone explain to me the motivation, because I don't get it. And I'm only 24, so I feel like this isn't because I'm ancient or something. I love how the kid on the other escalator just stares at them and then looks at his dad like, what's going on? You see, Jimmy, these girls are what your mom calls thoughts. And thoughts like to dance on TikTok for likes because it makes them feel popular. But Dad, everyone looks so annoyed. How are they popular? Well, son, Brendan42069 commented LMFAO on their video and he gets like 1 million likes a video, so they're definitely popular by proxy. Once they collab, it's basically TikTok stardom for them. And then what, Dad? Then they tell people they're TikTok famous, no one in real life gives a shit, they get upset, retreat to their rooms and feel miserable, and continue to seek dopamine by posting more TikToks to get more empty, meaningless likes for some form of happiness. Seems bleak, Dad. It is, son. It is. Just keep being the best person you can be and don't try and impress others to feel good about yourself and you won't end up like them. Promise, Dad? Promise, son. And then they go and get ice cream far away from the bleak reality they stumbled upon on their weekend outing. The end. Now, it's safe to say he wasn't actually blind as he perfectly navigated through the restaurant, but he's probably going to wish he was after uploading that to TikTok and having to be subject to the well-deserved backlash that ensues. Is this where fake disorder cringe is heading? Do people want attention so badly that they're willing to take the piss out of disabled people by using their resources to make haha funny TikTok meme? They're willing to interrupt someone's meal by causing a scene and ruining their good time? He's lucky he didn't blind someone else with the carelessness of swinging that cane around. And look, if I wanted to be scared, I'd go to a haunted house. There's absolutely no circumstance where I'd want to go out for a nice meal with friends and have a guy start screaming and being violent towards everyone. And there's no circumstance where he ends the recording and starts laughing and saying it's a joke and I would laugh along. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, jokes are supposed to be funny. How someone's brain connects humor to this is beyond me. But some people really do value TikTok clicks over being a decent person. Yikes. I'd like to believe this is her brother she really didn't even want there. She invited him to be a groomsman because her family pressured her into keeping the peace. He tried pushing strippers at the bachelor party even though the groom wasn't into it, sulked when they did a normal-ass casino night instead, missed his suit fitting because he was at the pub with Craig and Tom, made an embarrassing speech about how he caught the bride with some other guy she was dating before even meeting the groom just to make everyone feel weird, drank all the good booze at the open bar, and then finally decided that the party was still too boring and that smashing the cake would be what really livened up the party. Or not? Let me know in the comments what your background story on this guy would be. I'm curious to know. I cannot believe he did that to the cake. Wedding cakes are so expensive, and he only did it so he could have a laugh. No one else is enjoying it. He just thought it was hilarious, and because he has an opinion, everyone must think that way. In this guy's head, his thoughts and feelings are right, and if anyone disagrees, they're probably boring. And sure, blame it on the alcohol. We've all made an ass out of ourselves fueled by some Palm Bays back in the day. But if he had hit the groom when that knife was pointed directly at the bride's neck, I guarantee everyone there wouldn't give a shit if he had been wasted or sober. Manslaughter isn't exactly a wedding memory people are quick to brush under the rug. For anyone wanting to see some real justice, the entire video does end in the groom sucker punching him onto his butt, so while that part was not YouTube friendly, I can confirm he got what was coming to him. Mission complete. Good job to the guy playing the groom. You definitely get double XP if you manage to keep your wife in the process. Well, ain't this the flight from hell? Now, I've always been okay with babies crying on planes because it isn't their fault. Popping ears and loud noises are scary. But when I'm trying to nap and someone who's old enough to know that we all shut up once seated tries converting me to their religion and I just can't put one hand up as I walk past and say sorry, then yeah, I'm gonna be pissed off. Nothing makes me want to listen to your point of view more than when I have no choice in the matter. Nothing makes me consider your words and not simply scream internally more than when you trap me with no escape. And sure, while this plane has brought you closer to heaven in the sky, I guarantee the pilot is wishing he could drive you all straight down into the fiery pits for the onslaught of one-star reviews his flight is inevitably going to get for this stunt. Even if you think you're doing someone a service, stop and consider that some people might have a different opinion and respect it. Eat your complimentary pretzels or your wafers that you packed, drink your mini bottle of the blood of Christ provided, and maybe watch yourself VeggieTales or listen to some Christian rock music on your AirPods. Leave the church stuff to church and respect thy neighbor. For the record, no hate on religion or religious people in general, just hating on people who think their beliefs should matter to everyone around them.
I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
I don't know. It was on You.
What was on me? What are you talking about? Is Raymond even hearing what I'm saying? I never had the measles.
Was on You.
We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke?
I know.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It was on You. It was on You.
Raymond, I've never had measles. What are you talking about? This is stupid.
It was an episode of a show, Laura.
What's it called?
You.
What is he talking about?
It's called You.
I've never done a show on measles. I just completely give up. We gotta get out of this.
It's a show
I give up.
called You on Netflix.
There's a show called Laura Ingham on Netflix. What are you
Never
talking
mind.
about?
I'm moving on to Adele. I can't explain this to you.
What's he
The
talking
pop
about?
singer had
Now, I ended with this one because I found it more lighthearted and funny rather than main character material. Sometimes the internet lies or you disagree, and I thought that putting this amidst people assaulting others and creating destruction or making Karen-esque TikToks when butthurt was a little bit far-fetched. But maybe I'm just biased. I will never forget the time I was playing Black Ops on the Xbox with my friend and she asked me what button was to switch weapons. Obviously I said why, and she said because I need to know how to use my secondary, and I repeated why, and this went on until I finally said, Shannon, the button is why. And we laughed about it then, and still laugh about it now, years later. It's funny, not main character syndrome. Maybe just a bit of a brain fart moment more than anything. We have to lighten up a little bit and cool off after being so wound up from these others out here really truly thinking they're above everyone else. Because yeah, a lot of people get a few likes on socials and think that means that people in everyday life should think highly of them or care about that kind of thing. It's sad, because oftentimes these main characters sacrifice the universally liked qualities of humans such as kindness, and in turn lose the respect of people they otherwise may have had a chance in appealing to. But the people who prefer TikTok likes might not ever learn that. In conclusion, the only main characters to everyone should be dogs, but never undervalue yourself as a simple NPC when you are unjustifiably the main character of your own life. Just remember that everyone has their own thing going on, and you shouldn't be fighting to take center stage of their lives unless you want disappointment and secondhand cringe. In the same breath, live large for you, not for the people on social media who idolize you and take more of an interest in your life rather than their own. It's cliche, but you never know what someone online is going through in their personal life, and it's not worth idealizing. And you never have to do crazy things for validation from others. If you're happy in yourself and have people who love you around you and understand that the world doesn't revolve around you alone and are considerate and kind to other people, that's all more important than anything. Do that, and the people around you will begin to see you and the good qualities you radiate. And because you aren't forcing yourself into their presence, you'll earn a lot more credit than those TikTokers ever will. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified the second I upload so you can be a part of the early gang, and come over to my Discord if you want to hang out, link in the description. Some of you have been posting some amazing fan art, so thank you so much for that. Consider checking out my merch, because I'm really proud of it and it made me cry happy tears to see some of you start receiving and wearing it, and I like happy crying. And let me know what you want to see next from me in the comments below. Anyways, that's all for me. Hope you all have an amazing day, and I shall see you all in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Thanks for watching.